now.
YouTube. Welcome to the Daily Fantasy Perspective. I'm your host, Lucas, with my two co-hosts, Andrew and BJ. We got a unique little setup today. I am on the road at a wedding in North Carolina. Andy is running the show, the mind behind this madness from my computer desk. And we're still going to make this happen and bring you guys an episode. So I appreciate you doing that, Andy.
No problem.
How you guys doing?
Doing good, man. I'm ready to be on the ones and twos tonight.
A little rough week last week, man, but it happens.
It happens.
I feel that. We got to start like we always start. Let's be transparent. What did we walk away with last week? I
was in for around $90, my brother and I, and we walked away with $50-some with the loss of 40. So it's not horrible.
Not hateful. What about you, BJ?
Yeah, I did 115. I walked away with 48 or something like that. So yeah. It wasn't great, but it wasn't
bounce back bad. Week.
Yeah.
Yep. I entered 55 and walked away with 34. So it is what it is. It's again same thing that happened the week before. I looked at the leaders of the week, and then I saw all my players were at the top of the leaderboard. I just didn't have them in combination. Very good call in Cordell Patterson, and forget who was the best running back last week. Saquon and
I know that Gibson was in it.
Yeah, Saquon, Gibson, and Cordell Patterson were the three big ones you needed to have last week, and Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill, you had to have Tyreek Hill.
Yeah. He had a monster performance, pretty much won fantasy football matchups by himself. But not a bad week. I mean, that's better than $8 Earl. I'm an actual human. It's Lucas again. I'm not $8 Earl. I won't see $1 Million Mitch over there either.
Not yet.
This probably won't see him all year. He told me he's going back to Germany where he's from.
No, I didn't realize he's from Germany.
Yeah.
Well, keep him over there. I sent $8 Earl. Never mind. I'm not going to say that. I sent $8 Earl home. I was almost there. I sent him home. And let's get into this, Andy. You're at the computer screen. Let's just start off with the over-unders on the week, because it does give you a slight, advantage if you know the over-unders, which games are going to be high scoring when you're making your lineups.
Yeah, so this week, after taking a glance at it, is a very, very low scoring slate. You start off with the $9 game, but that doesn't count towards the $1 million lineup. But looking at the main slate here, you have Tampa Bay and Miami at 48. The only 50s you see, I believe there's two games with an over-under of 50 or higher. And one is this Green Bay-Cincinnati game with an over-under of 50. And the Packers favored by 3. It's going to be according to Vegas, it's going to be a tight game. We'll see. You have this is one of my favorites, the New York Giants versus the Dallas Cowboys with an over-under of 52. It's a pretty juicy matchup. Look for that to be high scoring. Dallas's offense is hard to stop. I like to see Dallas start to establish the run. I'm curious to see if they'll change it up this week and go straight passing. And you have the San Francisco 49ers versus the Arizona Cardinals with an over-under of 50. Another high-potent offense. I mean, I don't see anybody stopping these Arizona Cardinals. Their combined total this week is 27 points.
Dang. Okay. Is that all the matchups for the week?
That's all the high-scoring matchups. This Detroit-Minnesota game, I don't see much coming from that. We'll see if Minnesota can get their offense going. They put up 14 points last week, or 7 points.
Yeah, 7.
That
was the biggest shock of the whole week, man. Is that being that low-scoring game?
Yeah, we'll see if they can get their offense going against Detroit. It's a good spot to do it if they're gonna get going.
I actually like that game a lot. But yeah, let's move into our previous touchdown calls of the week. I'm having a hard time remembering who I even called, to be honest with you. But Andrew, I know you went 2 for 2 because we were talking about it. Who were your touchdown calls of the week?
Yeah, very happy with my picks. 2 for 2 again. I picked Jonathan Taylor. He found the end zone, and Robert Woods had a garbage time TD last week.
Nice. I love it. BJ, who were your touchdown calls of the week? Do you remember?
I can't remember. I think Tyreek Hill was one, wasn't it?
I think, yeah, you did. You went back to Tyreek Hill. I know one of mine was Derrick Henry, too, and he scored. Yeah. I can't remember my receiver.
Tyreek Hill, and I think I did running back, didn't I? I can't remember my running back I picked.
Yeah. I think you picked Gibson.
Yeah, I think it was Gibson, too. I was big on those two guys.
Yeah, so you were 2 for 2 as well. You know, I think I'm not 100% sure, but I think I picked Ayuk, and he kind of busted again. So anyway,
I don't know what's up
good
with
touchdown calls of the week. I guess I can bring up our previous lineup of last week and see if I can. I
think it was Chubb or Hubbard I picked from a running back.
Really?
Yeah, I think
I think you're right.
Tyreek and Chubb.
Our quarterback that we picked on the play of the week last week was Heineke, wasn't it?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. He had a good game. He had a great game.
He did.
Where's Bryce?
I picked Cordell Patterson. That's who I picked.
Yeah, that's right.
I picked Patterson, and Derrick Henry. So good touchdown calls of the week. You'd obviously won some money if you went with all those guys. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yep.
Those are good picks.
Anyway, moving in, that lineup won us $8, and that's with Logan Thomas leaving after the first snap with a hamstring injury.
That's so.
He was in the winning lineup, dude.
Yeah.
That's
0
wild.
points on the tight end, and it won.
Yeah, that's so crazy. So very winnable. That should give you hope that it is possible. But let's move into this week. BJ, what quarterbacks, or give me your one quarterback play of the week that you really, really like this week?
Man, that's tough. You know, I really, really, really like Aaron Rodgers against the Bengals, man. I think he's going to torch him. I know last week with watching that Jaguars game, man, even the Jaguars kind of tested the Bengals defense, kind of showed them for what we all thought they were, getting scored on like that. So I think Aaron Rodgers can torch them. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. They got Jair Alexander out, but we'll leave that for later.
Yep, I really like that pick. That's probably my favorite as well. But if I'm going to pick one, I'm going to pay up for Kyler Murray against that San Francisco 49ers depleted secondary. He is the most expensive QB on the slate, but the guy should score, 27 to 35 points pretty easily this week.
Cardinals offense is just unbelievable.
What are you feeling this week?
I am going to be going with a value play down here for 6,900 with Trey Lance against the Arizona Cardinals. We see the let me scroll over here and find it. The over under on that game is 50. Trey Lance is in line to play. He scored 20 points in one half of a football game, 20 fantasy points.
He can run, man.
I'm anxious to see what he can do in 4 quarters. For this price point, I love the Trey Lance pick this week. And I'm gonna give you another pick. If Trey Lance doesn't end up playing and Jimmy ends up playing, I'm going down here to Trevor Lawrence against Tennessee for 6,500. Trevor, like you just said, BJ, Trevor Lawrence just kind of showed up there in that Cincinnati game, and Tennessee's defense is horrible. This is a home game. He's finding his legs. Look for him to put up some fantasy points.
Yeah, rumor has it Urban Meyer's taking all those players to his bar on Saturday night, so they should have a good performance.
Wow, yeah, I'm excited for him.
I might go up there and join him. It's in Columbus.
That's a good night.
So his legs might not be underneath him on Sunday.
That's true. You might be a little tired. I might have to rethink it.
But anyway, I'm moving on. Any other quarterbacks that you like, BJ? I really like the Lawrence pick, and I like the Trey Lance pick as well. What about anybody else that you might throw into a lineup, BJ?
Yeah, man. Looking here for cheaper plays. I mean, there's always Tom Brady. Tom Brady could throw 4 or 5 touchdowns this week, I think. But really, I think the bulk of my lamps are going to be Rodgers. I think I'm going to throw a lot with Kirk Cousins. I think he'll torch that Detroit secondary, man. They don't have anybody. I mean, their secondary is just nothing. And then I really like Tannehill this weekend, man. I like Tannehill, especially if A.J. Brown and them guys come back. I think he's good to go for that game. I mean, looking at what Joe Burrow did to the Jacksonville secondary, man, I think Tannehill can finally light it up like we thought he was. I mean, he's priced so low. Last year he was like in the winning lineup 3 times by now, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'm going to throw Joe Burrow into a lineup too with Jair Alexander out. The Green Bay secondary is not good when he doesn't play, so that has shootout potential written all over it, and I do expect some points out of that Bengals offense, probably more from passing than running because Green Bay's run defense honestly isn't too
It's
horrible.
pretty good. Yeah, I agree.
All right. I like it.
I like Daniel Jones this week personally.
7,400. Daniel Jones into a lineup too?
Yep. Daniel Jones against the Cowboys defense for 7,400. He has running upside too. Sign me up for that at 7,400.
No, I like that a lot too. So, moving on to the running backs, Andy. What's your favorite play of the week?
Running back, besides Derrick Henry against Jacksonville, he's my top pick. I know it's a high price point, but history shows. I mean, he just torches in the Jacksonville games, and I look for them to have the lead and establish the run early. Some cheaper plays here. I love Leonard Fournette this week against Miami at 6,400. If you look, he's in for at least 80% of the snaps, I believe. So he's establishing himself as Tampa Bay's main runner. And at 6,400, you just can't deny 20 touches a game, 20 plus touches a game. Plus he's in on throwing plays. Of course, you got to go with the injury to David Montgomery. I think you got to throw Damian Williams in a few lineups. He's 5,800. That's a really good price point against a weak Las Vegas Raiders run defense. And one of my other favorite plays is Damien Harris against the Houston Texans for 6,500. That's a few cheap running backs there. You can't go wrong with those guys. I think those guys lead their backfield.
Yeah, I like those a lot. What about you, BJ?
Well, looking on here, James Robinson against Tennessee, I really like him this week. I like him. I think Urban and him, I think they really found, hey, we have a stud in James Robinson the last couple weeks. You know, they've been feeding him the ball, and they found a lot of success in that. I mean, they could have won the last 2 games by, just feeding him the ball, getting him the touches they needed. Saquon against that Dallas defense, I know they lost Smith or whatever. I mean, I don't know if he really had anything in the run stoppage, but, might as well throw a bone at Saquon because I feel like they're really starting to hype him up again. Looking at Washington, man, Alvin Kamara. I know he really hasn't done a lot, but that Washington defense literally might be the worst. I mean, I'm pretty sure that right now they're giving up the most points per game to each team. So Alvin Kamara's throw bone out. And really, Christian McCaffrey. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen there, but apparently he's said he looked good in practice. So, I mean, he's cheap as Derrick Henry is now. So he'll come in there and give you 20 points easy if he's playing, guaranteed. So, but if you're looking down here on a cheap play for me, James Conner, man. I don't know what's going on over in Arizona. I don't know what they're doing with their offense. Really haven't watched much of the games, but it seems like they're giving him it to, man. I mean, they're just using Chase Edmonds as the guy out of the backfield, really, and then they're pounding the ball with James Conner. So
he gets all the
goal line work, man.
Yeah.
He's getting all the goal line work, and he's getting everything. So James Conner would be a good one for me too.
All the goal line work. He scores every touchdown.
Yep.
I think the play of the week in the running back department is going to be either Nick Chubb or Kareem Hunt, who they give the ball to, whether it's game plan dependent. Reason I think that is the LA Chargers have given up a 100-yard rusher in 3 of the 4 games this year. And that is the focal point of the Browns offense. And I just expect, a big, big time performance from the running game. Keep the ball out of Justin Herbert's hand. I think that's going to be their game script because he's dangerous. Let's be real. Yeah. And that's the way you beat them. So I'm going to be throwing a lot of Nick Chubb, a lot of Kareem Hunt, and hoping, maybe even a couple with them both in there because I think they're going to be featured big time this week. Anybody else that you're throwing darts on? I was also going to say Damien Williams. I think that's a smash play for 5,800 against Vegas. 27th ranked defense against the run. Chase Edmonds, although Connor's getting the touchdowns, he's performing pretty well, honestly. He had 120 rush yards last game, and he's averaging 6 receptions a game. So can't go really wrong with him against a high-scoring team. Or gives up a high scoring to offense in the San Francisco 49ers defense. So Connor and Edmonds are both in play for me.
Another running back mid-range I might be throwing some darts at is Naji Harris here. It just seems like he's all they have on offense. Passing, running. I mean, this guy literally does it all for them.
He's a stud.
Yeah, so I'm definitely going to be throwing him in a couple lineups. Do you guys, with Joe Mixon being out, do you guys think either Cincinnati running back is in play?
Chris Evans I like a lot more than P. I know P. Ryan will probably, come out there, but I really think if you're going to throw a dart at someone, you'd rather throw it at Chris Evans than him. Just the pass-catching work that he brings.
I'd have to agree with you there. I think he'll be in for most of the plays. 4,800. I mean, I don't see why you wouldn't maybe throw him in a couple lineups and see what happens.
Yeah, I love it. All right, boys, let's move on to the wide receivers. BJ, who's your wide receiver play of the week?
Oh, man. This is a tough one, man. There's so many just killer wide receivers right now, man. It's got to be a toss-up here. Big-time toss-up here between, like I said, Justin Jefferson. And I'm going to say D-Hop this week, man. D-Hop, Jefferson, and Adams is a huge toss-up to me because I don't know who on Cincinnati is going to guard Devonte Adams, man. I don't know. I mean, he's going to see 12-plus targets probably this game.
Easily.
But if I have to pick my wide receiver of the week, I'm going to go with Justin Jefferson, man. I just don't think there's someone that can guard them. I mean, like I said earlier, their secondary is just so beat up, man. I mean, they got rookies out there. They got third stringers out there. And Justin Jefferson just looks like he's been on a tear. I mean, we weren't really high on him last week, but he had a pretty good week last week. And I think he continues that trend throughout the whole rest of the year, honestly.
Andy, who do you have your eyes on?
Yeah, obviously, I agree with BJ on Devonte Adams. I think the guy is unguardable.
Yeah, he's impossible guard.
He'll probably have 1 or 2 touchdowns. I love DeAndre Hopkins this week. I think people are going to start fading him because, let's face it, he hasn't really done much this year. But we know the talent is there and the targets are there. Eventually, he's going to have a 152 touchdown game. For high-end receivers this week, I like Devonte Adams and DeAndre Hopkins. Tons of value plays this week. I like CeeDee Lamb against New York Giants. I might be pairing Dak Prescott up with him. One of my favorites right here, Marvin Jones Jr. I'm going to be pairing
Love Marvin Jones.
Trevor Lawrence up with Marvin Jones this week. Quite a few lineups. Targets are there. They have injuries in the with DJ Chark. Look for him to see more targets. Either him or you can even do Chenault too if you like Chenault more.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to do the opposite. I think I'm bigger on Chenault than I am. My personal opinion, I'm bigger on Chenault than Jones this week. Yeah. I think they're going to do some sweeps and stuff with him and get him out there with the run game also with Chenault.
Cincinnati game, high over under. T. Higgins will be back this week. That's pretty good price point for T. Higgins. I think Jamar Chase went up to 73. Yeah, Jamar Chase is up here to 7,300. I like T. Higgins a little bit more this week. I'll be throwing him in some lineups. Down here, Mr. Target Hog, Jacoby Myers.
Yeah.
Pair Mac Jones up with this guy. This guy sees a ton of targets. Texans are absolutely horrible on defense. 5,900. That's really cheap. You can throw him in. Probably get 10 or more points out of Jacoby this week.
Yep.
I also love Darnell Mooney. Where is he at?
5,600.
5,600. Yeah, right here. Darnell Mooney. Justin Fields' favorite target. Justin Fields just named starting quarterback going forward. Love this combination.
I love it. Yep, I was going to say my favorite two cheap plays of the week were Jacoby Myers, and I really, really like Jalen Waddle this week. I think they're going to fall behind. Will Fuller just went back on the IR. That's going to put Jalen Waddle more into the possession receiver role, and that opens up so many targets for him. He was playing so well before Will Fuller came back, and they're going to be in a position where they have to throw the ball a lot against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I think he's going to get 7 to 8 catches. That's kind of my prediction with that game script.
That's a good pick.
Yeah, I have him in a lot of lineups. I have Jacoby Myers in a lot of lineups, and going up here, I know you said you like T. Higgins a little bit more, but I have to throw Jamar Chase in some lineups, which you hear Alexander out. I just have to, and I actually made a lineup with 3 wide receivers that I didn't like at the beginning of this year that are just tearing it up. But DJ Moore, Deebo Samuel, and Adam Thielen, I think they all can find the end zone this week.
Oh,
the
yeah.
all Poly hate team, and I think they're all going to find the end zone this week and score some big points. All right. Real quick, Andy, who's your favorite tight end play of the week?
Let me go to tight end here. My favorite tight end pick of the week is George Kittle. I'm going to be pairing Trey Lance up with him if both these guys play. I know it says down here not practicing on Thursday, but last I heard both of these guys are going to be playing, and I love that connection.
Yep, I'm curious to see how Trey Lance kind of evolves with that offense. My favorite play of the tight end of the week is Dalton Schultz against the New York Giants. They're paying so much attention to CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper. They can't guard everybody, and Dalton Schultz seems to be the recipient of all the red zone targets because they're paying so much attention to those two. 8 targets, 7 targets his last 2 games. I expect the number to be between 7 and 10 each game moving forward. And he's becoming a touchdown magnet, man. 3 touchdowns his last 3 games. Wouldn't surprise me if he found the end zone again.
Good pick.
BJ, what about you, my friend? Who's your touchdown or tight end of the week?
I like Mike Gesicki, man. I like speaking earlier on the wide receiver thing, man. Waddle, yeah, he sees the targets, but man, Gesicki and Devonte Parker, man, if he's playing, I like them 2 more on the side of the Miami game. I think Tampa Bay knows that Waddle's the target hog. I think they may just throw some extra coverage at him, and then I think that's going to leave Gesicki open over the middle. And I think Devonte Parker sees I think he may see a touchdown. But I'm really big on Gesicki this week, man. I just think Tampa Bay, like you said, their secondary is not that great. So,
yeah,
Gesicki's out there, and apparently Brissett loves him. So ever since Brissett came in here, you're seeing 7-8 targets to the guy. So.
I have a
Carlton Davis out for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers again too.
Yeah,
that's big.
Their best corner.
Yeah.
I have a
What'd you
question
say, Andy?
for you guys. Logan Thomas here on the IR. Do you think Ricky Seals-Jones will find your lineup for 4,900?
I'll throw him in if I need. At that price, he's probably the best option if I don't have much money left. So yeah,
I like
Logan Thomas sees a lot of targets.
Yeah, he does. That's true. But I mean, Dan Arnold though, man, I like Dan Arnold even cheaper down there. Trevor Lawrence loves his tight ends, and Dan Arnold had that game last week. They worked him in right away.
They did right away.
Yeah, they really did.
For that
Yeah.
price, I think Dan Arnold, Ricky Seals-Jones would be one too. Cameron Brate right
Even
above him.
Cameron Brate, yeah.
Yeah.
Some good value there.
Yeah.
All good value this week. We're all kind of off, the Waller train. That means Waller's about to go for 4 touchdowns and 12 receptions.
That's a good
because no one
point.
talked about him.
30 targets.
We're not even mentioning him.
And-
That's what's going to happen.
Yeah. And I let's move on to the defenses. I have 2 defenses I cannot stop putting in my lineups this week. I literally cannot stop. Remember what I told you guys about the New England Patriots against rookie QBs? They destroy them. And here comes Davis Mills off 4 interceptions last week. You know what's going to happen here, boys. It's going to be the same thing. But let's say you don't have $5,000 to spend. I'm going down here at the 4,000 mark, and I am throwing the Pittsburgh Steelers in as many lineups as I can.
Yes.
Drew Lock, are you kidding me? Drew Lock is garbage.
Turnover machine.
Turnover machine. If Pittsburgh comes out and just makes Drew Lock throw 2 incompletions right off the bat, he is going to have a terrible game. The best analogy I've heard of Drew Lock is he's a streaky 3-point shooter. If he doesn't make his first shot, he doesn't make a shot the whole game. So expect Pittsburgh to come out early, hit him. I expect a big game finally out of that Pittsburgh defense.
Yeah, I can see that big time. I see that for sure.
I like those picks too. I also like the other side of that Denver-Pittsburgh game. Might be throwing the Broncos in a couple lineups as well as the Patriots and Pittsburgh. I had both of those listed. I also like for a cheaper option, I like the Panthers against Philadelphia.
I just think Philly can score, man. I think they can score. I just don't think they can keep them from scoring. But I could, for cheap like that, yeah, I can see that. I don't disagree with any of you guys, man. I could see Pittsburgh really, like Paulie said, I could see Pittsburgh really stepping up this week with their defense, having a huge defensive week. And being that cheap, I mean, it's insane. And then New England, I think that's a huge play. I see the New Orleans Saints and Washington being a shootout too. I think it's going to be high scoring.
I think Tampa Bay will be chalked this week.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yep.
For sure. I think that's a wrong pick, though. I don't think Tampa Bay. I think Tampa Bay allows some scores for sure.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's a tough week for defenses.
Those are the ones I'm throwing in. Let's get to it, boys. Let's do the touchdown calls of the week. This is the segment where we pick one wide receiver and one running back who we think is going to score a touchdown of the week. And we do pretty well at this, so please pay attention. We make our lineup based on our touchdown calls of the week and try to fit all these guys in here. BJ, let's start with you. Touchdown call of the week presented by the Daily Fantasy Perspective. Who is your running back touchdown call of the week?
Let's see here, man. If I'm going to do running back, man, I would 100% have to say I think James Robinson finds the end zone again. I really do. He's going to be my call this week. I was going to do a special call. I think that Trey Lance finds the end zone too with his legs. So he's going to be my side piece of the running game. I think Trey Lance finds one too, but I really like James Robinson this week. I think he's going to find one. And then wide receiver, man, looking down here, this is a tough one. I think I'm going to try to go somewhere cheap. I think Devonte Parker finds a touchdown, man. I really do. With that Tampa Bay secondary, I think, and you got Will Fuller out, man, I think he's just going to be a target hog again. If he plays, he's questionable, but it says that he should suit up. So
I bet he's going to play.
Yeah, I'm going to go Devonte Parker.
All right.
Sounds good.
There he is. Devonte Parker. James Robinson and Trey Lance.
So we're doing the Trey Lance lineup, huh?
BJ said it. Rushing touchdown.
Rushing touchdown. Do y'all like it?
Sounds good. All right. Andrew, who's your touchdown calls of the week?
Give me, for a wide receiver, I'm going to go with CeeDee Lamb. Finds the end zone for the Dallas Cowboys. And I'm going all the way down here to the Patriots running back against the Texans, Damien Harris. For my
How much
touchdown
is Damien Harris?
6,500.
Nice. So let's go ahead and lock in George Kittle since we have the money.
There he is.
Let's add in that Steelers defense and see how much money I have to spend on these players. I know who I want my touchdown calls to be, but I want to make sure I have enough cash for it.
4,000.
I only have 4,000 per player?
Nope. 8,000 per player left.
Dang. All right. Well, sign me up for some Nick Chubb.
In the flex, we're going Nick Chubb.
Chubb.
Where is he at? There he is. Beautiful.
How much does that leave me for a receiver?
8,600 for a receiver.
Let's throw Mr. Devonte Adams in there.
Man, look at that lineup.
That's sweet.
What do you think, BJ?
That's a sweet.
I love it. I love that lineup.
I do too.
I really do like that lineup a lot.
A lot of upside on that lineup.
That's a random as hell too.
That's a huge upside lineup. Go ahead and lock that in. Make that our call. Go ahead and submit that. Oh, yeah.
Lineup.
There you go. Great. It says great
lineup.
It knows what's
Great
up.
lineup.
It wants us to enter
automatically $1 million in your account for such a great lineup.
It just inserted $1 million into my account. That's weird. Must foreshadow. But glad we could do this tonight. I was a little nervous with me traveling. You know, this 9-hour drive turned into a 12.5-hour drive, but that's okay.
Rough.
Traffic in every state.
Traffic horrible.
It's all good.
Yeah.
I was taxiing Meredith around today. She never made it to the front seat. She was laying down in the back. That's okay. Good day. If you guys liked any part of this video or think it's going to help you make your lineups better, hit that like button on the video. Drop a comment, man. We want some engagement on these videos. We want to talk to you. Want to help you out with some stuff. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't. We appreciate this, man. We all love doing this. I know I look forward to it every week, and it's just fun, man. And it helps us make our own lineups. I know like BJ said a couple times, you look back at this video and you're like, okay, that kind of opens your eyes to some stuff that maybe you overlooked. BJ, a couple weeks ago, you said that Kyler and Jalen Hurts were the best running quarterbacks, and I've been thinking about that because you forgot about Lamar Jackson, the best running back quarterback in the league. I was thinking about that the other day.
Yeah, I did.
I
don't know what I was thinking. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking, but I mean, yeah, I just completely forgot about Lamar. Lamar was even on that slate too. I don't know what I was thinking.
If you little sneak peek at tomorrow's quarter year update getting uploaded at 5 p.m. We might take some shots at old Lamar Jackson, so tune into that.
Oh, I can't wait.
We think there's only 3 quarterbacks in the AFC North. We're not sure who the fourth one is, but we'll get into that tomorrow.
I love it.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. Like I said, hit that subscribe button. Drop a comment. You guys have any last words?
I just want to wish everybody luck. Feel free to use this lineup. I think this lineup is really good. Could win you some money.
Free cash. You guys want to double your money, use this lineup.
Free money. It's legitimately been cashed every single week that we've done our lineup. But I hope you guys have a good night. Thanks for running that, Andy.
No problem.
This will be uploaded tonight. I know it's late Thursday night, but we'll get this to you. You guys have a great night.
See you guys.
Later.
Peace.
Bye.
Just in time.